Who hurts a woman more? A cheating husband, or confronting herself while betraying? What do you do when you're cheated on? Do you expose it, or do you find justice in your silence? Imagine you catch your spouse on a dating app, but what if he caught you there too? This is a story of a woman's cleverly planned revenge against betrayal, set in the heart of Rio de Janeiro. It's Sofia's dramatic tale of revenge and betrayal. And the victory revenge brings, is it truly freedom or the endless shadow of conscience? Get ready to hear Sofia's silent scream.
Rio de Janeiro. This city, alive and chaotic, mirrored the storm brewing inside me. One moment, the glittering promise of Copacabana. The next, the looming shadows of the favelas. I was lost somewhere in that shimmer, trapped in the whirlwind of real estate offices, towering plazas, and the relentless scramble of clients. Every day, I felt crushed beneath stacks of endless files, knowing that when evening came, the kitchen, the laundry, and the boundless energy of Isabella awaited. There was a constant alarm blaring within me, but I chose not to hear it, not to feel it. Our marriage, Ricardo's and mine, it was just a word now. Ricardo, my husband, was a ghost, buried in the murky waters of the financial world, perpetually glued to his screens. The distance between us had grown as vast as the ocean itself. Isabella, my little butterfly. She was my everything. My 3-year-old's tiny hands tried to hold my world together, but the weight of it all was crushing my shoulders. Every time Isabella woke up with a fever, in the middle of the night, I felt the full burden resting on me. I'd forgotten myself so long ago, I even questioned my own existence. Ricardo? He was always working, always busy. I remember trying to talk to him once about our dwindling savings, about how hard I was working. He just waved a dismissive hand, still staring at his tablet. "Sofia," he'd murmured, "don't worry about the money. Just focus on Isabella. I handle the big picture." His words, meant to reassure, felt like a cold dismissal, cementing the chasm between us. One afternoon, during lunch, my friends Beatrice and Clara practically shook me awake. "Sofia," Beatrice said, her voice firm but kind, "you need to remember yourself. Take a breath, a short getaway. Ricardo can look after Isabella." The hesitation inside me was a mountain. The thought of leaving Isabella with Ricardo, even for 2 days, filled me with dread. I knew how little he was truly present, but I had to change something. I needed that little escape, no matter who was in charge. The coastal town, a tranquil oasis away from Rio's hustle, felt like a balm. By the hotel pool, under the swaying palm trees, Beatrice and Clara laughed and enjoyed themselves. I, however, still wrestled with the emptiness inside me. Beatrice extended her phone. "It's a dating app," she said with a wink. "Maybe you'll have a little fun." At first, I refused. I'd come all this way, but this felt like crossing every boundary I'd ever set for myself. But then, the suppressed emotions, the exhaustion of years, my inner fragility, it all erupted in that moment. I created a fake account. I called myself Marisol. With the evocation of sun and sea, perhaps I could become a new me. And then, I matched with a young, charismatic profile named Mateo. We agreed to meet in the lobby the next morning. My heart hammered with a strange mix of fear and a curiosity I hadn't felt in years. The next morning, as I stepped into the lobby, sunlight streamed through the windows. My eyes, searching for Mateo, suddenly froze. Sitting in a single armchair in the corner, engrossed in his phone, his face turned towards me, was my husband, Ricardo. He was there, under a fake name, on the same app, waiting to meet another woman. The world went silent. It was as if all sounds, all noises, even my own heartbeat, ceased. My stomach clenched, my head swam, my moral compass, with a cruel crash, tumbled over. Lightning bolts of thought flashed through my mind. The happiest moments of my marriage with Ricardo, the joy of Isabella's birth, how we had slowly drifted apart. It all replayed before my eyes like a film. I recoiled in shock, unable to breathe. He didn't see me. I quickly retreated, leaving behind only my trembling shadow head. That night, I cried. For days and nights, I couldn't look in the mirror. My reflection showed a stranger, someone about to commit the very same betrayal. How could I judge him? Now, we were both guilty. That vacation, a journey I'd begun with hope for escape, had turned into a cruel plunge into the darkest corners of my soul. Returning to Rio, I felt a gaping void inside me. There was anger, yes, but alongside it, a crushing wave of guilt. I wanted to expose Ricardo's infidelity, to humiliate him in front of everyone. I could have shown everyone the profile on his phone, the moment I saw him in that lobby. But then, a bitter truth hit me, like a sharp slap to the face. As someone who knew she was about to do the same thing, I couldn't expose him. I could point fingers, I could provide evidence, but then I'd have to lay my own sin bare. I was afraid to confront my own shame. My desire for revenge was so strong, it almost blinded me. But my conscience kept pulling me back, constantly reining me in. These two emotions waged a relentless war within me. This moral impasse didn't extinguish my desire for revenge, but it redirected it. My inner moral compass was shattered. Now, I would fight this war, not with emotional fury, but with cold, calculated strategy. The goal wasn't just to bring him down, but to find some form of justice within myself. I learned, with bitter pain, that revenge was not as pure and liberating as it seemed. It could only stain me further. I'd known about Ricardo's shady dealings for years. His offshore accounts at Fortuna Capital, the insider trading, the illicit money transfers. These weren't just suspicions. They were whispers I'd heard and ignored for years. There were veiled hints I'd seen with my own eyes. Once, I even caught a glimpse of encrypted messages on his phone screen while he was sleeping, whispering to me that he was involved in dirty business. But for Isabella, for our marriage, to keep our order intact, I always turned a blind eye. Until that lobby. Now I needed that information. My anger and hurt had transformed into a quiet determination. I contacted Isadora, a young, courageous investigative journalist. I met her secretly in a quiet cafe. I showed her Ricardo's profile, but I didn't mention my own intentions. I just said, "You need to go after this man," forcing my voice not to tremble. Isadora, just like I had, matched with Ricardo on the same app, using a fake profile called Estrella. Only she went further. She got him to talk, recorded his confessions about suspicious transactions, captured hidden footage. Every piece of information was like an earthquake shaking Ricardo's empire. With this data, through Isadora, we exposed Ricardo's illegal activities at Fortuna Capital. A massive scandal erupted in the public eye. Ricardo's name became synonymous with corruption in the headlines. The financial world was in turmoil. He had once been one of its brightest stars. Now he was a pariah. But throughout this process, I didn't publicly reveal anything about his infidelity, that lobby encounter, or my own fake profile. I couldn't, because I was still living under the shadow of that truth in the lobby. If betrayal is a two-sided war, who really wins? The taste of victory was mixed with a strange emptiness inside me. Headlines, scandals, investigations. Ricardo lost his job. His reputation in our social circle was shattered. His position at Fortuna Capital, his brilliant career in the financial world, all vanished in an instant. As for me, Isabella and I started a new life. I received my settlement, and I divorced him. From the outside, my revenge had been exacted. Justice had been served. But this wasn't a victory, at least, not for me. This was a silent resistance, a whisper. The taste of revenge wasn't what I expected. Something was still missing inside me, an emptiness. Bringing Ricardo down hadn't healed my own wound. In the final scene, Sofia looks into a steamy mirror in her bathroom after a shower. Her eyes are tired, but no longer empty. They hold a look of sad wisdom. She reaches out her hand towards her reflection, But she doesn't touch her skin. Her fingers stop a millimeter from the cold surface of the glass. A complex expression crosses her face, a hint of regret, a deep melancholy, and a fragile determination. I looked at myself. In my eyes, there was no cold satisfaction from Ricardo's fall. Only sadness. I whispered to myself, like a promise to my own conscience. Until I forgive myself, I cannot truly judge anyone else. The mirror, it screamed my own truth back at me, my own limits, and that my inner freedom was still tied to me. Perhaps true victory wasn't in bringing someone else down, but in confronting the shadows within myself. And I was just beginning that journey, under the Rio sun, alongside my own shadow.